So after much heaving and grunting and pulling, I pulled the TR2 out of the tent and got it on the lift because I want to start working on it. So I was just thinking, I've actually owned this car for about 30 years, never driven it. It came in looking like this, and it's just been sitting as a back burner project forever. It's a 1955, and I think it was built in the spring. It's TS 6600 and change, original overdrive car. So not an overdrive transmission in it at this point. And as you can see, the motor runs so quiet you wouldn't think it was there. But I got it from a guy who thought it was a TR3. It's actually a TR2. He was going to sell it for parts, so I took the whole car. And this is the third house it's been at. You can see it's pretty tired. He said that at one point he had rebuilt the motor, and he lived somewhere out Sebastopol, somewhere out there, out in the country anyway. And he was driving it around, and he had a 28-foot travel trailer on his lot, and the guy that was renting that from him had a Jeep. And the guy with the Jeep thought he wanted a sports car, and the guy with the sports car wanted a Jeep, so they swapped even. And then the guy with the used to have the Jeep never checked the oil, and he threw a rod, or at least burnt a rod through the crankshaft. I got it with the engine block complete with no crank, and I don't know, he must have thought he was going to restore it, and he took a bunch of it apart. A lot of the sheet metal is just hanging here by a bolt or two like that, just so I could get it, because I moved a couple of times. I had to put it on a trailer. But it looks like it's pretty much all here. It's a total mess, no doubt. The gauges are there. The capillary tube's not cut on the temperature gauge. The seats are here. To look like they're probably original. Not that they're any good anymore, but at least all the bits are here. This is a hard top I got from my friend Jerry Goldhammer, who bought it for his TR2 when he bought his TR2 brand new in 1954. So he never did find out what happened to that one. So, I mean, it's been sitting, I've had it for 30 years. I'm going to bet it was sat out in the field for at least 10. So for California, this is pretty rusty. And if I remember correctly, they had a bunch of shirts laying on this. This is all pretty soft right here. This side's better, but that's getting really thin. I'm surprised. I've had it 30 years, and these tires are probably at least 10 years older than that. They actually held air because they were all flat when I went to push it out. They all held air while I pushed it out. What is it that Repairman Ray says? Hit the button to subscribe. Alright, so we got rod on the bottom of the fender. Well, the back side looks alright. And we got some rod on the bottom of the A post. It's a good thing that's a synthetic rope, but that transmission probably would have fell down 10 years ago. Some more rot. It's been all the original drum brakes. I think this car is really pretty original, other than the fact that somebody probably busted the transmission in about 1965. A little bit of rot in the floor. But this frame looks pretty good. It feels like the guy just walked away from pulling the motor out. Never came back. We get this still here. Get that out. What I want to do is lift this body off the frame and clean the frame up and have the motor back at the other house. So we can go get that. And I actually have like trunnions and stuff like that already. And I bought a the interior for it already. I got it on eBay. Some guy bought it, never used it, nobody else wanted it, so I got it very inexpensively. And this one, when we first went to move it, this wheel was frozen. I had to take this brake drum off, so that's missing. So that's somewhere in my pile of parts, if I can manage to find it. This one's got a big chip out of it. Of course, it's going to need everything. And basically just take it back down, clean up the frame, do a really good inspection on that, though it does look good. And I'll paint that up. And then I got the engine block back at the other house. Rebuild the axles, get so it's a rolling chassis again, then do the engine. Actually have an A-type overdrive transmission. I think it was out of a 4, maybe even a 6. But I think that's what I'll put back in here. Since it's supposed to have an A-type anyway. It's crazy not to use it. It's surprising sometimes the things that don't go away. These are the original aluminum bits are usually all rotted away from dielectric corrosion, but apparently this one stayed dry, so that didn't happen. Let's take a look at the other side. Yeah, well, that's a big surprise. Well, they probably won't clean up. They're probably too pitted, but doors have seen better days too. Yeah, that front render's pretty toasty. Well, we'll see. Right now, the door gaps are good, so what I'll do is weld some cross braces into the doors before I take the body off the frame, and then I'll probably do inner and outer rockers, and we'll see how it goes from there. I don't know. It's awful tempting to try to save as much as you can. There's so little nowadays. It's original. And once upon a time, these cars were worth nothing, and people just cut them up and raced them and just replaced everything. This car was originally red, by the way. Looks like someone painted it green at some point. And this is just spray can primer. There's the green. There's a primer. There's the green. There's the red underneath. I know it was red because I got the build sheet on it from British Motor Heritage. I'm sure the pedal boxes are all frozen. And, oh yeah, I have a friend who needed an exhaust system, so we gave him everything except for the intake and the downpipe. I'm feeling the downpipe wasn't that good. Yeah, it's all busted up. The wind horns are still here. Well, should be quite an adventure. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll keep posting videos as we go along. I think the first thing is the transmission outboard falls on the ground by itself. We'll probably do that tomorrow. So we'll see you then. Bye.